under pressure, a run chase. I thought New Zealand did pretty well to get up to that score, but under pressure to chase that down so easily, so convincingly. What an innings from Mitch Marsh. That was a brilliant innings.
We predicted at one point that there was a 50% chance we easily walk away with it. What a brilliant way to finish this T20 World Cup.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the only shame is obviously the predictability of a run chase. That's 10 games in a row in this tournament under lights. The side have chased it down. It was a dry pitch to start. New Zealand were 50 off for 2, but then the ball started to skid on, and the batters nowadays are just too good. They smash it out of the ground. It is. I mean, he was left out against England. He's come back in, and since then Australia haven't looked back. And I'm really pleased for him. He's been through the ups and downs. He's had so many different injuries. But the ball, I mean, first ball, he just smashed Milne out of the ground, and you knew it was going to be his night. He's been in great nick throughout the tournament, and once he's going and Warner's going, they just got ahead of the rate, and New Zealand couldn't drag it back.
He had an opportunity to build upon what even Warner started. He's been in sublime dust through the course of this T20 World Cup. What an innings! He's got the most runs for Australian batter in the T20 World Cup.
Yeah, I know. I mean, from where he was in the IPL, from where he was at the start of the tournament, from where he was against England when he got out cheaply, since then he's not looked back. And he's sort of the heartbeat of the side, that if he gets them ahead, then Mitch Marsh can come. I think the mindset changed, because they, after losing to England, they not only had to win every game, but they had to worry about their net run rate. And it just meant go out, free yourself up. And that Warner freed himself up, Marsh, Stoinis, Wade, everyone freed themselves up. That was brilliant from Australia.
It's really surprising, because the first ever game in this T20 international format was played between these two teams. But 16 years in the making, for the first time Australia had to win this World Cup.
Yeah, I think they've not had their team together. For all that period, they've had very good white ball T20 players, but they go off and play in franchises around the world. And poor old Aaron Finch and Justin Langer have not had them together. I think we've had a sign of what could happen if they're around, if they play together. Because individually they're great players. Finch and Langer have got them as a team. The tactics have been good. They've gone with 4 bowlers. New Zealand targeted the 5th bowler, but Australia were just too strong. Yeah, I mean, that was a convincing win. In a final, we saw it in the IPL final. Once a side gets a good score, you think, oh my, we can't afford any slip-ups. So it's not only the skill, but quite the mental toughness in a final with a very good crowd in a World Cup final, never won it before, to chase like that is a phenomenal effort. You've got to feel for New Zealand a little bit. They've done so many good things. That's another final they've lost. Kane Williamson's innings earlier was absolutely magnificent. Yeah, I mean, on a pitch that initially was difficult. Initially he was 1 from 7 deliveries, and you thought, Kane, you're going to have to get on with it here, and he absolutely did get on with it. He's got such good wrists. He was hitting Starc in places I've never dreamed of hitting Starc. Over point, over third man, over mid-wicket, over cover, and he found his form. And you know, he's a very, very popular man around the world in international cricket. You only have to go on social media when he's batting like that. It's one thing the public admire in him, but when your fellow professionals are tweeting, wow, Kane, then you know you got something special, and he is something special.
Even when he got going, he never looked like he was out of place. He was always a cool customer. They call him Captain Cool for a reason.
Yeah, and he's cool in the field, he's cool when he bats, and he's cool when you're out of nick. I can tell you, and I've been there a million times, when you're out of nick, you think that you want the ground to swallow you up in a World Cup final. But Kane doesn't think like that. Kane thinks, I'm out of nick, I'm struggling here, but he has such sort of strength and depth in reserve that he can just suddenly pluck a shot from somewhere and he's off and running. He always does it in big games. He was brilliant. He was absolutely, I mean, at one stage he got like 2 overs for 6. He was the man that Williamson had to keep going to try and get him back in the game, because the spinners were skidding on nicely. I don't think Sony bowled as well as he could. He dragged a lot of balls down. I know he was worried about Marsh hitting him over the top, but Marsh then just sat back. So he had to keep going back to Trent Boult. Trent Boult became his trump card, but he's only got his 4. I like that ball when he got, even when the game was nearly gone, he dropped that catch. He was furious. furious with himself, and that sort of epitomises New Zealand cricket. They never give up.
In the last 27 months, New Zealand have made it to the finals across the 3 formats. What has made them such a strong side?
Well, they're high-class players. They've got a great man in charge of them in Kane Williamson. They have a lot of nous. They're talented. They play the same group of players. New Zealand don't have a million players to pick from. You know, like example, India. So if you always someone wants someone else to come in, New Zealand just stick with what they got, stick with what they know. If the players out of nick, they don't panic quickly. They stick with them, and those players will eventually deliver. I think in general the takeaways are that they've got an outstanding side. I think the skipper back in form is important. Saudi and bowlers, the new ball combination, are still magnificent. Okay, Sodhi and Santner didn't have a great evening this evening, but they played pretty well. Mitchell in the semi-final against England was magnificent. I think Neesham's found a bit of form. So they've got a lot of good things. They just came up against a better Australian side, and you could argue the toss. You know, very difficult here in Dubai if you bat first to win the game.
That was going to be my next question. How big a part do you think the toss played in tonight's encounter?
I think it has done. I just think that after 10 overs, everyone, all our pundits, were saying, oh, this looks a tricky pitch. It looks like it's dry and 160 could be a good score. And from that moment on, it's not the dew. If you touch the ground now, it's not wet, it's not dew. It's almost like the lights or the cooler air just means the pitch skids on. It cools up and it doesn't grip. It just skids, and batters love it when they do that. They can just hit the ball out of the ground. A long time ago, when you were very young, Martin Crowe had a game where we played 10-10-10-10. And that's the only thing I can think of to take the toss out of it a little bit. One side bats 10, then another 10, the other side does that, and it just sort of evens it out a bit. So both sides get a bit of dew or a bit of nighttime batting, because at the moment in this part of the world, the toss is too important.
So many times that New Zealand have made it to the final of ICC tournaments. What would you like to see them do in order to just get over the line?
Nothing. I'll be perfectly honest. I love the way New Zealand play their cricket. You know, whatever, when they lose, I mean, the presentation's going on behind us now. They're the most humble. I remember the World Cup final when England won, and a lady went up to Kane Williamson and said, "You're the man of the tournament." He went, "Me?" Like that. It just shows how humble they are. They're good in victory and they're good in defeat. They're a wonderful set of guys. They take it well. I don't know, I wouldn't want New Zealand to take, like in that semi-final against England, Daryl Mitchell didn't run into Adil Rashid. If anything, Adil ran into him, and Daryl Mitchell refused to take a single. That's in a World Cup semi-final under pressure. It just shows what a quality team they are. Of course they would love to, they've had the opportunity of winning all three. 50 over by the barest of margins, Ben Stokes bat, World Test Championship against India, and here tonight. They're still a very special side, even after what happened tonight. You're dumping me for Shane Watson.
Quite emotional. Yeah.
Tell us about what were some of the thoughts that were
Well, look, it was a big total that New Zealand posted. Kane Williamson was absolutely brilliant to be able to get his team batting first to such a really good total. 172. Australia had their work cut out, but to be able to see how brave Dave Warner continued to play and Mitchell Marsh from ball one to be able to take on the game. They both put their hand up at the right time when the Aussies needed it, and were able to finally get that trophy.
What a fantastic game of cricket. There was a point, even the win predictor said it was 50% on either side. Did you enjoy watching it from the toppers?
Yeah, of course. It's an incredible game of cricket. When a team sets a total of 172, to be able to chase that down to the final, that's serious batting. And from Australia's point of view, it's great that we're on the right side of that. But absolutely still ebbs and flowed enough. Trent Boult getting out Dave Warner, there could have been an opportunity there, but Mitch Marsh just continued just to stamp his authority and say, "Nah, I'm taking this game with me."
It's been a long time coming. There are ODI World Cup on the trophy gallery, but this T20 World Cup in New Zealand is a long time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Very, very proud. Australia have been dominant in World Cups in the past, 50 over World Cups, but that elusive T20 World Cup, just the team was never able to really get the right combinations together at the right time, and it's just something that, in the end, it was sort of like an undercurrent that people just didn't want to talk about in Australian cricket. But now for the boys to be able to really galvanise together and put all those little pieces together after those first couple of games of the tournament, they write themselves history. In a way, it's a perfect storm for Australia because the couple of little question marks in particular that were there was around Mitchell Marsh. Where was he going to bat? And Australia tinkered with it a little bit with ISHAQUEPOINT coming in, but they just knew the power that he had at number 3, taking on the best bowlers in the world. Dave Warner hitting form at the right time, just to be able to the dominance that he has, the quality of player that he is when he's going. He's shown it in the big games. He stepped up and dominated. And then the fast bowlers were very, very good. Josh Hazlewood in particular, the IPL experience he had with CSK showed his true colours, and Adam Milne, he was just so consistent, just a brilliant T20 bowler, great performance, always taking wickets, not going for many runs, so it was really a collective performance, giving people put their hands up at the right time, and for you to win a tournament like this, that has to happen. Yes, I know, absolutely. There's been question marks here and there over Mitch Marsh, more so just because he's been so up and down with his ability to be able to play because he's had some injuries. And for him to be able to really just grab the team, the performance by the scruff of the neck and pull him his way. He's going into great form from West Indies and also the Bangladesh tour. And then the energy and aggression and intent that he showed from ball 1 that he faced against South Africa in this T20 World Cup shows the skill. He's got incredible skill, and now he's found the right game plan and the mindset to be able to be a world-class batsman.
Mitch Marsh kind of had the opportunity to build upon what David Warner started really at the start of this innings. What a fantastic confidence boost just for him to be able to do so well in this edition of the T20 World Cup and most runs for an Australian batter.
Yeah, David Warner, he was outstanding, and you never ever write off a champion. He is one of the true champions of world cricket. And yes, he was out of runs in the lead up to the tournament, but then you could see just the switch just flick halfway through the tournament, and then he was not going to miss out, and he capitalised on it. And him just be able to continue to take the attack to these world-class bowlers just shows the skill of this man. So anyone who ever questioned Dave in the past, that's gone.
What a way to win the T20 World Cup, and their first one, and that with the ball, Josh Hazlewood in a good position.
Josh Hazlewood, that time with CSK, for him to be able to put in the time that he gave to his game by playing in the IPL for CSK. Some bowlers didn't take that time, like Pat Cummins stepped away for this one into the Dubai League, and Josh Hazlewood, his T20 game has gone through the roof. His ability to be able to take wickets with the new, also his offensive ball options he showed tonight as well. That's what happens. You play more games, develop different skills, and CSK gave him a good run as well to allow him to develop his skills, and Australia are a huge benefactor for it.
What do you think?
A lot. Daryl Mitchell has been a star. For him to be able to come up and open the batting like he did and put on so many great performances is a huge tick for New Zealand. Kane Williamson coming good tonight. That was a sensational innings. That was phenomenal. And then Trent Boult tonight he was absolutely outstanding. He was the one who really continued to try and keep the Kiwis in the game. But Tim Southey, Sodhi, they're just such a consistent side. That's the reason why they make so many finals. At some stage, they will find a way to be able to get across the line because they're too good a side not to.
What a winner. Let you go celebrate your former teammates. Thank you so much for talking to us. Congratulations once again.
Pleasure.
Australia have